very common question. What about those communities where they're towing your cars? This is part of what I would say another dubious but brilliant movement within the collection companies and management companies produce cash. Here's the way it works. We go back in time. You buy a house, there's a street, park on the street. Now time passes. You buy a house, you can't park on the street. Now time passes, and the home that you bought where you could park on the street, the attorneys and the management companies got together and said, let's pass a rule and say that where you could park on the street, now you can't park on the street. Where do you park? Well, park in your garage. But if you have 3 cars, or if you have 2 cars and it's a 1-car garage, you can't park your car. What you gonna do? Well, you'll just run in the house and get what you need. But you've got tow companies going around the neighborhood stalking the cars. This is their cash flow. They have instant cash flow. They're allowed into the neighborhood. They're not stopped. They're invited in, and many of the tow companies are owned by the management companies, the collection companies, or the attorneys. You walk away from your car, you walk inside, you come outside, your car is being towed. As of just about 3 weeks prior to this presentation, a man in Florida, a doctor, had left his car sitting outside for a moment. He came outside, he attempted to stop him, and the tow driver drove away, pulling his car, drove over him, and the man died. Oh, you want to hear the interesting news? The HOA still can't decide whether they should still keep that tow company or not. They're voting on it. They're voting on it. The tow companies are now part of the process, and there are tow companies designed strictly to operate in HOAs. And while I could stand up here and tell you story after story, I'll at least relate another one to you. A community, gated, you can't park on the street. They built the garages too small, you can't park in the garage. What are the directions on what to do? Park across the street in the Vons parking lot and walk in. Stunning. Did you know this before you bought the home? Did your realtor say to you, oh, and by the way, you can't park. You may want to consider that when you buy the property. You're never told about this. And warning, at any given moment in time, rules relating to parking can change. And the best shots are those communities that are gated where you have no choice. Add to that now the kind of vehicle that can park. That is to say, let us assume you own your own business. You got a little plumbing company, you got a little computer repair company. It says it right on the side of the van. Can't park. You're not allowed in the community. They'll tow your car.